So we got some questions, so we're going to answer them.
Quite a while ago, we got these questions.
Not that long ago. Anyway, so the first question is, what makes a good story?
That's so
vague.
Situational.
Yeah, there's so many aspects to a story that, like...
I'm sure there is one blanket-all answer that, like, some genius could just, like, be like, okay, so, and then you'd be like, oh, that fits, but I'm not a genius.
guess maybe the answer for me would be to have a redeeming quality, like something you can cling to.
Yeah.
Because even if the rest of the story's bad...
But that's different for each person, you know? If anime has good animation, I'll watch it, you won't.
Yeah.
And voice acting.
Definitely a good main character goes a long way.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think that's
so hard.
For more people. Like, that's something that, you know...
Tropes that I like will go along. It's so situational. It's so different for people. And the audio spiked a bit back there.
I'm gonna walk around there's a bunch of questions, but,
Look at this.
Yeah, I think that's
past there. It was back, yeah.
Okay. What do you want to see more of in fiction?
Oh my goodness.
When I saw this question, something came to mind, and that is parents. I want to see more living parents included in the story.
There. That audio spike.
Why do you care so much about the audio spiking? Anyway.
It probably doesn't sound good. Anyway, yeah, living parents who are just, like, just cool and go on adventures. Just really, really, like, cool, too cool for you parents.
Yeah, I was actually, recently, I started reading webtoons, and so she sent me some, and there was one that I was reading it, and I don't know if, you never know if a character's gonna stay dead sometimes. I think he's gonna stay dead, but there's a parent that died, and it was really aggravating to me because...
Which one was that?
LUMINE.
LUMINE. I don't remember.
That's kind of sad. But, like, I've seen this in stories before. Some stories, this especially happens with fantasy, where the parents are always dead, but some of them, like...
Are plot devices?
Some of them, sometimes it's okay, like, it's overused, I don't like it, but sometimes it works in the story, and I feel like it improves the story, even if I kind of wish they had found a way to keep the main characters alive, the parents alive.
I just want to see good guy, too cool for you parents who are around as supporting characters. Like, I want to see that.
But this story stuck out to me because, more so than other stories, like, I felt like if they had kept the parent alive, it would have been a better story. There would have been more emotionally impactful, and I felt like they just killed him because that's what you do.
I don't even remember, like, the existence of Lumine's parents or anything.
No, not Lumine's.
Oh, the other guy?
Yeah, the other guy's parents, a dad.
Oh, that guy.
Like, it felt like he would have made a really good character if he stuck around, like, really helpful to the emotional impact. There could have been an arc about his relationship with his son.
Yeah, he definitely would have been a good character.
Yeah, he was kind of along the lines of the too cool for you parent.
Yeah, he was, but he wasn't the main character's parent, but yeah.
Basically, what I would love to see is more parents being included in the story and being cool characters who you grow to like, instead of being oblivious, weak.
My parents been away, my child has been away for years and years. I'm sure he's fine, he's just visiting his cousins.
Yeah, the parents are always, they're either dead, they're, ignore the kids, and the kids just run off and have an adventure, and the parents, are usually idiots, or they're just, just not included in the story, or they're bad guys or idiots.
Yeah, and they don't have their own arcs.
And occasionally, I see parents being included in stories, and it's great. Sparky is on top of his cage, chewing a toy through the top of his cage. Oh, he's funny. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Of course, maybe we should find something else. Other than parents, is there anything else you would love to see included more in fantasy stories?
Oh yeah, well there's lots of representation that isn't, what do you call it, mental illness, all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, representation's great.
Yeah, and, fantasy stories, I feel like it's, like, people are trying to do it, and people are commenting on it, but, it's more common to have representation in, like, what's it called?
I have no idea.
Realistic fiction?
Yeah, stories that take place in the real world. Ish.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other side of that question was, what do you want to see less of?
Oh
I mean,
my
I feel like I could
God.
literally put, dead parents here, but...
Railroading.
What's railroading?
It's when the characters have to follow a path and it doesn't feel like their actions are impacting the plot.
Oh,
If you
yes.
could replace the character with a brick, if you could replace any character in the story with a brick, you should replace that character with a brick.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, a few days ago about main characters, how it's really hard to give your main character a personality, more so than with other characters, much more so.
Yeah, it feels like it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, it does feel that way, but it's, when I write stories too, it's just so hard to...
You know what I should do is I should take a side character from one of my past short stories and write from their perspective.
Yeah, that's what I kind of been trying to do to get around that, is just start writing a story and, usually the side characters are far more interesting, so then take that side character and make it the main character of the next story,
That's what I did with The Dragon's Tail. And I also got rid of the entire plot and just focused on a side plot, a side character's relationship, because it was the most interesting thing.
Gosh, that's sad. What else would I want to see less of?
Oh my gosh.
Annoying, oh my gosh, yeah, that's like main characters again. Main characters who are idiots.
Yep.
Of, like, middle grade fantasy, I keep seeing the main characters who are always asking questions in situations when you shouldn't be.
And sometimes they just have no personality.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about a second ago, but in fantasy, that can... I feel like in middle grade fantasy especially...
Books. I feel like
yeah.
that goes hand in hand with preachy books. Like, the main character is saying what the author wants the reader to be thinking. I recently read BFG, and it kind of, for the earlier half of the book, it felt like the main character of that was kind of doing that. And it was
yeah. Okay, let's maybe do one more. It's starting to get long already. What makes a good ending for a story?
I like bittersweet endings. Like, something was lost and something was gained.
I like those too. I remember a long time ago having a conversation with somebody, or I had read this book, and it was not a great book. It was about horses and this girl trying to find a horse. I think I might have started halfway through the book. But the ending really stuck with me because it ended in a place that I felt was really good. Not too, on the sooner side, it didn't really wrap up at the end, but it ended on that emotional impact.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I just want stories to end after wrapping up all the loose ends, but without lingering.
Yes, and it's so easy for them to fall into this trap of either lingering to wrap up the loose ends and having, and the main characters have a party and they celebrate and talk to old friends that they haven't seen in a long time, and just drawing things out such that you lose that emotional
end
impact.
Already.
Yeah, not to mention, not as only is it boring, but you lose that emotional impact.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen the other side where stories end before you're still saying, hey, wait, what happened to that one character?
Yeah, and
or
I
you
feel like,
or you just want to see that one character's emotional reaction to something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's also, I feel like a problem with endings is, like, something that carries over the whole book, when you don't, like, you drop plot threads. Like, Diana Wynne Jones stories often have this problem where they just drop plot threads, and yeah, it makes the ending unsatisfying no matter what happens.
Oh yeah, I love it when they, like, tie in loose ends. I have found that, like, the stories that they make ends and tie everything together.
Yeah.
Like, every little minute detail's part of the story. I find sometimes I like that, and sometimes it's a little too much, like, oh, is the bear passing by them while they're having this conversation relevant to the story? Like,
I feel like it usually makes me go, well, with video games anyway, like, I'm like, whoa.
It's awesome, but at the same time, I have seen it to where it starts to get, like, I'm expecting things to be integrated into the plot when they're not, But definitely I like it when people, do stuff like that and tie things into the story. Okay, so that's probably a good length. We barely answered any questions.
Well, I feel like we can make it longer.
Okay, fine. One more question.
Why not make it as long as we want? People can watch it in parts.
Have you read 1984?
Yes.
Oh, what did you think of it?
Okay. First, I feel like worrying about the length of the video is sort of like decreases the quality of the video.
I find that sometimes I don't watch videos because they're too long.
You can watch it in parts. Also, you're not watching this, probably, since you're in it.
Okay, fine. So go on. What do you think of 1984?
I thought it was really cool. The characters weren't very characterful but it was more of a story than, like, Brave New World, and it had some really cool concepts, like the whole Newspeak thing and the whole post-apocalyptic thing. It felt like real. It felt kind of like something that could happen. And that's what you want from that kind of book.
I didn't read it, so I have no thoughts.
You should read it.
Maybe.
It's post-apocalyptic classic, but wow.
Okay, here's one more. What makes a character good or interesting?
Having a really pronounced personality. I don't care if they're weak, I don't care if they're whiny, just having a really pronounced personality. In fact, yeah, if they're weak and whiny and they're in a group of other people with various strong personalities, oh, yeah.
They also need to be likable, but I think that people put too much of an emphasis on making their character likable.
I don't care if they're likable. I don't care if they're, like, racist scum.
Really?
I just want them to be interesting. I just want them to pop.
Maybe it's the main character that I need to be likable. The other characters can be racist
There
scum.
needs to be something like... If they're the main character, okay, they need to have redeeming... I think whoever they are, they need to have some kind of redeeming quality, but...
Yeah.
I feel like there's been so many characters in anime that everyone hates, and I'm just like, oh, they're fine. Because, like, maybe they have some small redeeming quality, like they're racist scum, but they're nice to their friends. Like that's redeeming quality enough for me, as long as it's shown enough.
Yeah. For me, the one character that really stuck out at me when it comes to adding faults to your character, which is relevant to this, not 100%, but, was Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, yeah. I really love them.
Yeah, and is he the main character?
Howl?
Yeah.
He was the second main character.
Okay.
He was kind of the main character like Sherlock Holmes is to Watson, maybe.
But basically, anyway, what I was saying is that he had so many faults that I almost didn't like him, but I liked him anyway, and it really made me realize that, faults, you don't really have to worry too much about making your character have so many faults that people won't like them. You just need them to have a redeeming quality.
Yeah,
and you're fine.
One redeeming quality.
Yeah, because, see, the thing is, when they're presented as the good guy in the story or the main character, people are already set up to like them.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot more. That was really cool. Definitely, like... Yeah, when it comes to adding faults, there's the stereotype of the Mary Sue or whatever, and I see people do that way too often. Not to that extreme, but to where the faults they're adding are the faults they're okay with adding, the faults that wouldn't make them hate someone.
Yeah, oh my gosh, like, I feel like there are traits that, I feel like are going to make someone like a character, are going to make someone hate a character, just no matter, or there's going to be some people who hate them, no matter how many...
You just lose your train of thought.
No, it stopped for a moment.
Oh my gosh, that's weird.
I think your computer is slow. But yeah, like, if your character is a cheating husband... I feel like there are going to be some readers who hate them no matter how many redeeming qualities
they have. That's a good thing.
Have.
It makes them more realistic. I mean, there's nobody in this world that everybody loves, like...
Yeah, I feel like, if the audience is divided, that's good. But it's also scary as a writer, like...
Yeah.
thinking about, like, some people are just gonna be like, you're portraying this person in too light of a light.
That's interesting. Yeah. I think we should end this now. My computer is, like, looks like it's a little behind on putting the recording thing on screen.
Oh
it's weird
my.
looking.
Oh my! How long is this?
It says down here.
Oh wow, 15 minutes. Okay.
Alright, so thanks for listening. Definitely you can always ask more questions. If nobody does, maybe next time we'll finish up the rest of these questions and ask our own, because I love asking questions.
There are more of these?
She sent us 9 questions.
How many did we do?
5? I'm probably wrong.
What are the rest?
Let me read them. Have you read any good books with terrible endings? And if so, what?
Jones.
Briefly describe the plot. Put in a spoiler warning.
That requires a very specific memory.
What makes a bad ending? What are your 3 favorite books and why? That was a really tough question, so I, avoided it.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I mean, do you want to just... Do you have 3 favorite books that you're favorite?
I like Watership Down. I like the Farseer trilogy and the sequel trilogy as far as I read, and A Little Princess was good. I have a lot of books.
Yeah, I've for a long time credited A Dog Called Homeless as one of my favorite books. I don't know if I'd still like it if I read it now, but that one was good. Having trouble thinking of other books that really hit me like that. I feel like one of the Jonathan Stroud books.
Oh.
The first one in the Lockwood and Co. series was really fun to read. I'm not sure though. I'm having trouble thinking of books that I really enjoyed, so that's why I kind of avoided that.
I have a list of authors that I
Next time we can talk about all the books we like. Okay.
There's just too many.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.